Good morning. So as you can see, it is pretty early in the morning. We're heading out about a 3.5 hour drive to pick up my two 100% grass-fed, grass-finished cows about 3.5 hours north of here in a place called Binghamton. The farmer is meeting me halfway, so it's technically 7 or 8 hour drive, but the farmer is very kind to meet me halfway. So let's get on the road. So I got a couple things that I got to update you on. I got a new truck. Well, new to me, used truck, new to me. Picked that up 2 days ago. I'm gonna be selling my Mazda, but with all the stuff that I've been doing outside in the garden, and now with all the clients that I have, it didn't make sense anymore to have a Mazda. Like I couldn't even barely fit a shovel in my Mazda, so a truck was very necessary. I've been on the market for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and shopping around, going to see all these different vehicles and stuff, and found this one that seemed like it was the right fit. So praying that it does what it needs to and lasts for a while. I think it's pretty nice. It's cool. It's definitely got some scuffs on the outside. You know, it's a little older, but the interior was really nice, and I was happy with it. So on a different note, as you may know, I really don't like driving. Everything that I do is like within like 15-20 minutes from my house. In fact, one of my friends who lives about like 28 minutes from my house is like the farthest place that I really go. I don't drive. You know, I drive when I do drive. It's for work. It's for, you know, if I have a gig, it's an hour away, or if it's, you know, 45 minutes away, whatever. Whatever. I just don't typically have to drive places. That being said, having to drive 3.5 hours one way and then pick up the two cows, and then now, mind you, they're butchered cows. Like they're gonna be all like individual packed, like in like 1 or 2 pound packages. Like it's not like I'm picking up like 2 carcasses. Like no. So I'm picking them up and driving 3.5 hours back. So it's like 7 or 8 hours of driving in one day, pretty much straight. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a long time, you know. But I'm making the most of it. You gotta do what you gotta do, kind of thing. And I was like, you know what? It's really no different than a flight to California. It's a 6-hour flight to California. You sit in one spot, and it's kind of the same thing. You know, it's a little longer, but like if you calculate the time that it takes to drive to the airport, which for me is about an hour, then you waiting in the terminal for an hour, then you're on the plane for 6 to 6.5 hours. That, you know, all this stuff calculated, you're like, it's kind of the same thing. And I'm like, wow, so I get to drive and pick up 2 cows for the same amount of time that it gets me to get to California. That's kind of cool. I should have left a little earlier, man. It's 5:40 in the morning, and look at all these cars on the road. This is crazy. Again, I repeat, not even 6 a.m., and we are in traffic. Like, welcome to New York. I feel like here in LA, maybe Chicago. I've never been to Chicago. Definitely Atlanta. Atlanta's like, you know, spaghetti junction insane. But New York, LA, couple major cities, like this traffic is insane. 5:52 in the morning, sitting in traffic. I don't know if you can really see it, but over there, the top left or middle left is the New York City skyline. Dude, I gotta say, the past couple of maybe half hour that I've been listening to this music I've been listening to, it's really inspiring. It makes me want to songwrite, man. I'm loving it. All right, so we've been driving for about 2 hours so far. We got an hour and 35 minutes left, another 100 miles to go. Made a couple phone calls, called a couple of people. Still only 7:25 in the morning, which is crazy. But we've driven from Long Island through New York City, through Jersey, and then now we're in Pennsylvania. So New York's an odd shape where like it kind of goes like this. So you often will drive through Jersey and Pennsylvania, kind of go west and then go north, which is exactly what we're doing. So another 105 miles, and we'll see what happens. I am, on a different note, I'm very excited to pick up this stuff and test it out and stuff. I'm a little bummed. I forgot to ask the butcher for the extra fat, so I can make my own tallow. But I spoke to the actual guy that raised them, and he actually had some organ meat, so like the kidneys and livers and stuff that he threw in for free for me, which I'm really excited about. But he said that a lot of the organs will actually have a fat around it that you can cut off and render down into tallow. So I'm grateful about that, but live and learn, right? No big deal. It's getting colder as we get more north, man. 20 degrees. Got some snow on the ground up here. So we are about 15 minutes away. 13 minutes to be exact, 12 miles, about a 3.5 hour trip. I'm praying it's a 3.5 hour trip back, if not faster. That'd be amazing. Hopefully there's no traffic. Making the most of it. I had a great time, honestly. I was called a couple people, had some great conversation, spent some time talking to God, listening to music. It's been a good drive, and now we gotta do it all over again. All right, we are here, pulled up at a Wegmans, which we don't even have Wegmans down by me, but now just waiting for the guy to show up. Wow, dude, what a morning! So I just finished meeting with the farmer, filled up the whole bed of the truck with beef. It's a lot of beef. And then I went to breakfast with the farmer and just was asking him questions and talking to him. And man, what an interesting life. He works a full-time job from home in upstate New York, but he's in the creative field. He works like graphic design or something for like a company out of state. So he works full-time for that and then part-time for another job, actually, because he was considering transitioning out and working only part-time. And he does the farming. He like 40 head of cattle. I think he said 700 chickens a year, and laying chickens. And he does it all while working full time. And I'm like, it was just so inspiring, and hearing his story and the struggles he's had, and like learning how I could, like, seeing what I could do. I really, really had a great time. Now we're heading home. It's 4 hours of driving, looks like, so it's gonna be fun. Be home. Left at 5:15 this morning. We'll be home at 2:30 then in the afternoon. Unload all the meat, and then I have a gig at 6 o'clock that I have to get to. All right, it's been about 2.5 hours. About to cross into New York in a couple minutes. Should we talk about tolls and how tolls are just ridiculously expensive at this point? And it's $17.25 with the Easy Pass, which is like a discounted price, just to get into New York. That's crazy. So we got all cow 1, cow 1, cow 1, cow 2, organ meat, cow 1, vegetables from last year, and then this is the rest of cow 2, cow 2, cow 2, layers up there, cow 2, all the way back, and a little bit more that I gotta fit somewhere else.